What's up, everybody? Gil here from the HVAC Uncensored podcast, here to talk to you about our friends over at Yellow Jacket. Guys, it's that time of year. You're going out. You're going to spend some of that money you guys are making, this summer. You want to get some new tools. Guys, Yellow Jacket has some new things out. They've had their new gauges out, the P51 860s and 870s. They have all kind of stuff to go along with them now, as far as the wireless probes, the temperature and humidity, the pressure probes, all of it, the whole complete kit. It's an awesome kit. It's built like a tank. I highly recommend it. They also have their new alloy ratchet tubing bender kit. I love this thing. I love the kit that comes with the reverse bender. That's something that until you have it and used it, it's a thing you might need twice a year, but it will save your life for those twice a year that you're going to use it. That whole kit. So the reverse bender is a part number 63342, which is included in the deluxe kit, which is 63325. That is the part number. Go to your local supply house and check out that. Guys, remember, Yellow Jacket, 70 years of expertise built into every tool. Yellow Jacket. On to the show.
I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands.
One nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. God bless the United States, and thank you to all of our global listeners.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go.
If you're trying to take your HVAC game to the next level, then buckle your seatbelt, crank up the volume, and try not to be offended, because you're listening to the HVAC Uncensored podcast with Gil Cavey and Kelley McKay. Now, here's Gil and Kelley.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the HVAC Uncensored podcast. I'm your host, Gil Cavey Jr., sitting alongside my buddy, old pal, Mr. Kelley, Mother F. McKay. What is up, my man?
What's going on, man? Your mic's not sounding right. I hate to say that right off the get-go in the podcast, but something's not quite right. Is the volume turned way too up or something?
It might have been a little high.
That sounded more normal. So that's good. But not much, man. Hopefully, I'm ready for summer. We're still like, this morning it was 39 degrees here in Kansas. So, and then got up to like mid 60s. So we're still like hanging out in the low temperatures. We got up to the low to mid 70s and then right back down to 60s stuff. So we're just ready for warm weather here in Kansas to kick off summer right. Like, we're staying steady. I'm really proud of my guys, really proud of my team. They're, we're booking the schedule. We're doing great, but I'm ready for some chaos to ensue, time to make that money, Yeah,
no, man, it gets to be a little too crazy. It's here it's been it's probably like been in the 60s, 70s. While we were gone, it was a couple of days. It was hotter here than it was in LA. And, that kind of spurred a good bit of stuff then. But we've been pretty decent. The calls have been steady. We've been okay, but it's been mild. It's a lot of people calling in for those tune-ups or that hot day they turned it on and it's not working and they have to get it checked out. So it's decent, but I think this might die off a little bit. So we might have a little bit of time to catch up, get our feet under us before the actual summer surge comes in and just
the storm
gives you the big heave ho,
Yeah.
But yeah, you definitely got to be ready. And we're going to talk about some things tonight that is part of the preparation for summer. Kelley, man, a lot of these people don't realize, we all know that summertime is the busy time. We all know that, but I don't think they realize what it takes to be successful and what a company has riding on the success of that summer.
100%. more times than not, because we have slower seasons, shoulder seasons, whatever you want to call them, we have downtime. We have peaks and valleys in our business. It's somewhat inevitable. I think the companies that thrive during the slower times when the demand calls are not coming in because it's just mild temperatures, those companies have got a well-developed sales process, and they're getting, sales leads that are coming in, and they've honed that in. And that's how they do so well during those slower times, because let's face it, service calls drop off the map for everybody. Don't kid yourself and think that one company is doing great in service. That is not the case. Now, of course, if you've got maintenance agreement holders within your company, yes, that's going to smooth out the valleys, but that doesn't always sustain a company all winter long. And we deal with a lot of mild weather during the winter. So that's where a good lead source, something that brings you consistent leads, and then having a well-developed sales process can help you. Because look, no matter what time of year it is, whether the air conditioners or furnaces are breaking or not, somebody is interested in replacing their system.
Yeah.
No matter what day of year it is, no matter what the temperature is outside. And those people are typically fairly decent customers because they're looking for a deal. So that's why we have offers, we have rebates, we have, different specials that we can run during those times to help smooth out our schedule and to at least book some more installs.
Plus, those off-season people, they're buyers.
Yes.
They're thinking about it when 95% of customers are not.
Yeah, they're proactive instead of the other 90% who are reactive. They wait till it breaks to call us.
Yeah. So you go out there, you be thorough, and they're going to get what they want as long as you do your job properly.
Mm-hmm.
And me and Kelley have talked about a bunch of different ones. We advocate several. There's not a one that I would say over the other. A lot of you guys who, in the different Facebook groups see me, or you're friends with me on my personal page, you saw that, me and the owner of my company, Ryan, were just in Los Angeles last week for Victor Rancour is his Service Hero Academy training, which I will say was fucking amazing. It was good. A lot of the things did I know? Some of them, yes. I won't sit here and try to lie and say everything because I didn't. And it's a pretty badass process, and it's proven. I mean, guys are leaving this class, they're doing it, and it's working. We've advocated for Mr. Gene Slade. Gene has Service Tech Secrets that's out there that actually used to be a sponsor of the podcast. Gene has his stuff, which is proven and it works. So
Charlie Greer has his stuff, which is proven and it works. Uncle Joe. Joe Crisera.
Yeah.
It's proven and it works. There's so many out there. You really just have to pick one that you relate to and then learn the process.
Yeah. And guys, I mean, me and Kelley will get into this. So all of them are good. If you do any of them, you will learn something and be successful. But guys, the whole point of this podcast, we want to talk to you guys, is about learning a proper system or process is only half the battle. Okay. You need to learn one. You do. That's how, especially it depends on what you want in your business. You want to be successful and you want to grow and you want to scale. You have to do this. That's how you have consistency. You have higher revenue tickets. You provide better value to the customers. That's how you will grow. That's how you get that McDonald's, that Chick-fil-A feel when all of your technicians are providing the same level of service. It's how you can demand more for what you're doing. But if you learn that system and you do not implement that system, or if you do it this call, but the guy doesn't do it this call and you say nothing. We only do it for a little bit and then we don't do it anymore. Do you think that system's going to work? And hey, we're not pointing fingers. Trust me. Me and Kelley will be the first ones to tell you that we've learned systems in the past and we've used it for a little bit and then we've kind of just fell off the wagon. So that's why we're speaking from experience.
Good stuff sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes good stuff that works. And then we failed to have a plan to continue, to follow up, to continue with our own process that we just implemented. And so it falls off. There's not a business owner that's tried to grow a business here today who's listening to this who has not struggled with this. And if you haven't, well, you got to be brand new to business or you don't have any employees. It's different if you're a one-man show and you go learn some great new process and you come back and implement it and get results as long as you run the process and you're disciplined enough to hold yourself accountable to make sure to do that. But when you've got other people involved and you're trying to get them to run something new, something that's different than what they're used to, that's the challenge.
Yeah, it's. I had a brain fart there. It's everybody. And if you look, if you look at all the big companies out there, it's the consistent training that they're literally training. You said it. You said, and I didn't want to interrupt you, but you were saying like to get the Chick-fil-A or the McDonald's. Well, the reason that those places are successful is because you have to be able to duplicate what you're doing from one location to the next. And how they do that is they build processes and systems, and everyone follows the same process and system. So that way you can go to a McDonald's in New York or you can go one in LA and you're going to get the same experience. It's going to taste the same. It's probably going to look the same. And we may not want to deliver that in our businesses. We have to decide what we're going to be. Are we going to be like the Mercedes Benz or the, of our industry, like, or do we want to be that middle of the road, like Ford and Chevy, maybe decent, good quality, value, or do we want to be, like, I don't know, what's what was that? Yugo? The Yugo. Oh, yeah. Like, do you want to be that little cheap car, that has no. So as far as businesses go, if I'm not trying to confuse anybody, but you can be that cheap guy. You can be one guy in a truck, spare no expense on any marketing and just be that, and be that cheap guy. But it's really, really hard to make money as that business model. Just as we might have talked about before, there's Aldi's. If you've ever heard of Aldi's, or like a cheap supermarket chain throughout the country. Amazon is another one. Those companies, it's all about volume. So the first many, many years of business, the only way they survived was investors kept investing in them because they had to get past this point where they were doing enough volume where they actually could start making money. So Amazon is a really small margin business. So is Aldi's, and there's lots of other people who run that same business model. For us, mere mortals, service technicians, it's not sustainable. So normally you got to at least say, I'm going to be the value guy. I'm going to be in the middle. I'm not going to be the cheapest. I may not be the most expensive, but I'm going to be the value guy. Or there's other companies that want to be the top guy. They want to say, like, we're going to do the highest quality of service. We're going to do the best work. We're going to be the cleanest, or we're going to have the best tools and instruments and vehicles and uniforms and people. And we're going to pay more than anybody else in our market. That's great, but you're going to have to charge a lot more. So in order to be able to sustain that, you got to have processes and systems. It's all about, when a technician gets in a truck, he's usually awesome. Like, he's the dude, the gal or the guy, they got the skills. They got some people skills. They got the technical ability, and that's great. But when that's not always sustainable. If you have a vision of wanting to grow a company, that's up to you. Some people don't, and there's nothing wrong with that. But the people who want to have a vision and want to grow a company, you have to figure out a way to duplicate what you do. That's what's made you successful. You got to find a way to bring somebody in and then have them develop your
You help them see the vision that you have for the company, and they've got to believe in it. Then you got core values, and you got mission statement, purpose, all of that stuff. And as long as you all mesh and they believe in where you're going, then they should follow the process that you give them with some accountability and some KPIs. And then you're able to duplicate what you've been doing successfully. And once you figure that out, then it's just a case of now you got to have more leads. Like, that's the weird thing about the HVAC business is there's so many systems or processes that have to all work together for it to work. It's not just running calls like we've said for years. You can't just run calls all day and grow a business. It's just not how it works. Like, you got to have some administrative people and bookkeeping and the CSRs who take the phone calls.
How are we booking these calls? Are we tracking these calls? Are we qualifying these calls? Are we labeling them? What level are these calls? When the guys go out, are they making money? Are we tracking if they're selling service contracts? There's a lot of things involved in this. My thing is, if you're a small guy, you can be that cheap guy, but you're like you said, I don't think you're never going to make money because you can't charge more money because you are that one guy in a truck. You don't look like those other guys. I'm sorry. If you're going to charge more money, then you need to look different, talk different, walk different, smell different. Like, you need to be different. If you're the guy that shows up with a tank top, jeans on, and some Timberland boots, and he smells like, dog shit or sweat, okay, he's there to fix. You'll probably buy that capacitor from him for $100. But if he comes in and starts offering you, options and solutions that are going to cost a little bit of money, chances are you're not going to spend money with him. But if a guy comes in a uniform that he's clean cut, he knows his shit, he pulled up in a nice truck, his uniform's all pressed, he smells good, he's clean shaven, well manicured, goes through a proper system or process, and then all of a sudden explains to you why you need to spend $1,000. Are they going to do it every time? No. Is the person more likely to do it? 100%. 100%. So
do it as in, like, do some repairs and walk away with a $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 service ticket.
Yeah. Like we always say, customers are buyers. They just don't want to be sold. Guy, and I want to tell all of you guys, that we are always 100% honest with you, and I will always shoot you straight. And a lot of people think these sales classes that you're going and, you're learning a bunch of dishonest shit. And I can tell you that you're 100% wrong. Trust me, because I had that mindset and have taken a bunch of these classes thinking that that's what I was going to find. And I found none of that. All of these. Well,
yeah.
Go ahead. I mean, a lot of times it's about being, at least the one that I just came from was about being thorough.
That's exactly what I was going to say. What it requires is that you do a better fucking job on every call.
Yes.
And some people don't want to do that. They want to be lazy. And if you're going to be lazy, then save yourself the money and don't go to these classes, because what they're going to teach you. Because I've taken several too. I've taken several, and paid lots of money to do it. And like, you just have to be thorough, and you got to be willing to put in the extra effort that it takes to be thorough. That's what gets you the sales. It's not, there's one or two little pieces to that to help convey the value and create the urgency for the customer. But besides that, it's just doing a thorough job.
Yes. And a lot of it has to do with customer communication. It teaches you little things that you can say to keep the customer involved. And I won't go into detail, because the point of this is not to tell you what one guy or another guy's system is. It's just speaking about them in overall. And that they're great and that they work 100%. They're proven to work. No doubt about it. If you were second guessing it, you've never taken to one, we highly recommend that you do. All we're saying is, once you learn it, do it. Don't come home and be like, well, man, if I do this and I add this to it. No. That's a fucking bad idea. Do that system that you were taught to a T. Don't change it. Don't minus something. Don't add something. Do it the exact way that you were taught every fucking time, and you'll be successful. It really, really is that simple. Does it mean every call you go to, it's, man, fucking these people are throwing $100 bills at me? No, it's not. But in the long run, you are going to be successful. Your revenue is going to increase. Whether it's your business or you're a technician, you're going to make more commission for yourself. Your owner is going to be loving you. You know what I mean? So it's a win-win. It really, really is. It's really that simple. Well, I don't want to say it's that simple, but it's not easy to do, but that's the simple answer though.
Yeah. So when it comes to implementing that stuff, like you got to have the process. And this is something that with all the different sales training that I've taken and stuff is anymore. I love just the bluntness of the trainer just saying like, don't change this. Just do this exactly like it is. Don't create your own way. Like, because how many times have you heard like, well, just make it your own? Well, I'm here to tell you, if you make it your own, you're going to fuck it all up. Like just, you can make it your own once you know it like the back of your hand. Like once you have that ingrained in you and it just comes out naturally, that's when you can like throw in a couple of your own things. But the main thing is you've got to get to that point before you start throwing in your own stuff. Well,
plus to me, it's like your stuff wasn't working. Or obviously you wouldn't be going to this class.
Right.
So as far as I'm concerned, once you learn one of these process, throw your fucking shit out the window. You know, I mean, and that's just being honest. I mean, you know, and you find something that's similar. I mean, maybe some of the little communication things that you have, that's different. But as far as adding or subtracting to that system or process, I wouldn't recommend it. I would keep it simple, stupid. Just fucking do what you were taught. That's been proven. Because guys, a lot of these systems that we see, they're very similar. Me and Kelley talked about this the other day. They all have their own little twist, which I guess is what we're telling you not to do. But they're all successful, and they're all based off being thorough and being able to explain things to customers properly. You know,
but then once you find, you know, the person who finds the most solutions to the problems, like that's who's going to always win. Every service call, every sales call, if you can find the most solutions, even if you're bidding against 3 other companies, if you find the most solutions and you're able to convey that, you know, through the way you communicate to the customer and help them see the value that you're bringing and that your company brings, like that's what closes deals. That's what, because once the value stacked higher than the price is no longer an issue. But what I was going to say about those processes is not just finding all these solutions. Like that's just the beginning, because what's going to happen is they're going to buy it. Well, now you got to do the work. And some people, when it's 4:00 on a Friday, they don't want to, you know, sell a pull and clean, a blower pull and clean, and installing a surge protector and on the inside and the outside unit. And also, you know, whatever else it might be, replace the outdoor condenser fan motor or add a start boost. Like they may not want to do all those things because it is extra work. But here's the thing is it's almost like work smarter, not harder. Like you could do less calls. You literally could do less calls if you're walking away from every job with an $800 to, you know, $3,000 service invoice. I mean, who wouldn't love that in their companies? And some of these bigger companies who've been able to expand because, man, with the podcast, with the Facebook, like there's companies up until 2 years ago, I'd never heard of Ken Goodrich from Gettle. Like I'd never heard of him. Well, dude's, you know, he's a legend and but I'd never even heard of him. Well, that's because Facebook and YouTube and podcasts. And so now you're seeing all these mega companies across the nation. Like, I don't know what the biggest one is, but it's well over 500 million, I believe.
I think the biggest one is Service Champions.
Yeah. Well, there's no way that they've been able to do that without proven processes and systems that they're able to, implement and like execute in their companies. Like, if they're not doing that, there's no way. It'd be like a McDonald's. Like, oh, well, I like McDonald's. I'm going to start a McDonald's over here. Yeah, I'm going to make the burger this way. It's going to be better this way. Like, I just start doing my own shit. Like, it's not going to work,
Yeah, no.
And so it's all about being able to duplicate that process over and over and over again.
Yep. Guys, I know a lot of you out there, you have this constant battle with yourself where you think you're underpaid, you don't make enough money. You're a technician, you fix things, you're not a salesman. And we've said this, and I won't get into this, and beat a dead horse like we have. And guys, just take the word sales out of it and just substitute the word solutions, like Kelley was just saying.
Or service.
Yeah, service. And guys, we're there to provide options to the customer. Like, I love the word that Victor kept saying was factory fresh. Like, we're trying to bring that system back to factory fresh every time that we touch it. And a lot of you guys out there that you think that you're doing the right thing for the customer, but you're not. You're doing the right thing for the customer in your mind because you think that's what they want. If you provide all of the options and you let the customer know everything that you see, you take the time, you explain it to them. I mean, literally, you show them. And then they say, hey, you know what? I appreciate you going through all that. Nobody really does that. I'm just going to do that capacitor. Then so be it. But if you don't let them know everything else, are you really the good guy? Are you really doing what's right for the customer? And I hate to break it to you guys, you're not. You're not. And the sad part is that category is probably 65% of technicians in the field, if not more. I think I was going a little low on that number.
I think so.
I
think so.
Yeah.
I never knew any better. I didn't know. That's when you have some of the data to back this stuff. It makes you really understand just how important it is. I didn't know that, dirt as thin as a piece of paper can cut the airflow that blower wheel can move by like 20%.
Yeah.
Well, that's significant. And our guys, like one of my guys was telling me just last month where he, showed them the blower and the assembly, and they all decided that we needed to clean this, and they purchased it and we cleaned it. And a register that was right below some curtains in the far side of the room or far side of the house had never moved those curtains before. And now the curtains are blowing all over the place, and the customer's ecstatic because they could physically see the difference of what this cleaning made. And I think of it like this. Like, if you go to the doctor and he somehow does all these tests on you and he finds that you got a 25% blockage in an artery. Well, that's it. But yeah, he doesn't say a fucking thing to you and lets you walk out knowing that in 2 to 3 years, it's going to be a lot worse. And it's probably going to shorten your lifespan. Well, this is what's happening in the HVAC system. Like, if the blower is dirty, it's like having a clogged artery. It's going to prematurely die. And in the meantime, they're not going to be nearly as comfortable as they should be. It's not going to be, it's not going to provide near the comfort or the airflow to each of the rooms. It's like, that just makes sense, like and too often, more times than not, because we're scared of having a 5-minute or 3-minute, let's be honest, probably 2 minutes, 2-minute conversation where we're uncomfortable because we have to at least offer it to them. Instead of doing that and going through that, we would rather watch the system die slowly and have our customers be uncomfortable and cost them a lot more money, energy wise, just because we get in our own way. We don't want to have that conversation. So you got to change your thinking about this. It's got to change. Like you're not, like Gil said, change that into service or what was the word you used? Solutions. Like provide give all the solutions. It's not their job. Like the doctor can tell me, hey, your arteries are clogged. You need to change your diet and you need to quit smoking. You need to quit drinking, whatever. Like it's up to me if I want to do that or not. I don't have to do it, but it's his job as a professional to tell me that I need to change this and fix this. Well, it's your job as an HVAC technician to bring this to their attention and let them know we need to fix this. It's not, if you just get out of the way, like it doesn't matter what they say. It just doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if they say yes, no, or fuck you. It doesn't matter as long as we did our job.
Yeah. You're knowledgeable. You can explain, when they answer questions, you can answer them about the different products and services that you're offering to them. You can tell them the why. You kind of kept them, like one good thing. And I don't want to steal these things from Victor's class because I highly recommend it. But, you don't want to be a ninja in somebody's house. You want them to know that you're there. You don't go hide downstairs and do stuff and then come up and go, oh, it's going to be $4,000 to fix it. They're like, what? What do you mean it's going to be $4,000?
I'm going to give some gold here. So how many times have we done a great thorough job and we offer options and we explain it all to them and the customer says yes, and then we go do it. And maybe you bring in the old parts. Maybe. Sometimes you don't even do that. You just throw them in the back of the truck, bring them their invoice, they pay for it, and you're out the door. Well, I could tell you, even in the sales process, when you're selling, there's certain things that you can share with the customer. Let them feel it, touch it, hold it. So when it comes to the parts that you've brought solutions for, bring your parts into the house. Put yourself together a bag and just throw everything that it would be normal things like, throw a surge protector, throw a run capacitor in there. Doesn't matter what size. Throw make sure it's a dual capacitor. Throw a start boost in there. Whatever else you want to throw in there. That's like a common wear and tear item, a contactor. Throw that in there. And now bring this into the house, show these things. Like, here's the new contactor. Here's what it's going to look like. You want to see it? This is what I'm going to be putting on. Here's a start booster. This is what keeps the lights from dimming. It's going to extend the life of your compressor, help it start easier, pull less amps every time, save you some energy. Here's what it looks like. And if you're using the nice ones, they come nicely packaged. Like, they look fancy and there's a bunch of wires and it looks complicated. Yeah. Well, this is all building value. And one of my guys is crushing it by doing that particular thing. So, we've shared it with the team and I'm sharing it with you guys. I should charge you for that information because this is something that I'd never thought of bringing my parts in, my new parts, and showing them. Even though I've seen it done on a sales presentation for new equipment, I've never heard of it or seen it being done on service, and it works. Because it's tangible. Like, here's what I'm putting on your equipment. Here's what you're purchasing. It's not just a list on a tablet or a piece of paper. It's a physical product that I'm going to install. And now you get to see it. Boom, build a whole bunch of shit ton of value. And it's going to be easier to sell. I promise you.
Yeah, no, I love that. It's just, people buy what they think they need, and they know that you're not just trying to pull the wool over their eyes. And that's the biggest thing. And it's just explaining things to people. Just think about it for yourself. Think about any time that you've had to be sold on something, whether it's been buying a car, windows, siding, whatever it is. And just think about, the different guys. Think about the ones that were really bad and the ones that were really good. The ones that was bad, you know what? He probably wasn't very thorough. He didn't give you a lot of, options. You left the process from like, I don't remember what the hell that guy was even trying to sell me. You know what I mean? Like, why was he even here again? Or the ones who were really good at their job. Like me now, when I get different sales, whether it's siding or something, I respect just the art of the sale, that they're being thorough and doing their job. Doesn't mean I'm going to buy from them. But I can respect what they're doing, that they're good at their job, that they know their product. They can answer the questions. They're going through to show me everything and then tell me why they're different from the other guys. We need to be the same way. So I don't think this is something we need to take, an hour and a half to sit here and beat on, but I do think it's valuable for all you guys to hear. I mean, me and Kelley always try to speak the truth to all you guys and gals out there. We try to really, really speak the truth, and we try to tell you things that we've learned and failed, or things we've learned along the way, things that have helped us. And this is just something that it just is what it is. It's proven. It works 100%. And there's a lot of honest, good people out there. I mean, like our friend Coral Whale, she follows one of these systems. Coral is a maintenance tech, a female maintenance tech. This girl fucking kills it out there and does not do one dishonest thing. Her customers love her for what she does.
She's extremely educated too about the products and how they can serve her clients. So yeah, I think she's like running a team now. I don't think she's just doing maintenances anymore. She's a rock star.
Yeah. And she'll tell you, she got taught a system and she followed it to a T. She saw that she stuck with it. She stuck with it. And she saw what it provided, what it did. But she was leaving houses with $20,000 and these customers were fucking hugging her, like, oh my God. And
recording videos with her, live videos on Facebook or whatever. So crazy.
And that's the thing that people don't realize is people, you are fixing problems and finding solutions for problems that these customers didn't know they had, or they had and they didn't know there was any way to fucking fix it. So it's just, that's why all the time we keep saying, don't be small-minded. There's too many of us out there that, think, I'm going to rebuild that 35-year-old system. Go ahead, man. Have at it, Hoss. Good
is that, yeah, I changed my mind on that stuff when I started thinking about, is this really serving the customer? Like, really? And I see posts every day on Facebook about 35 years old and still running strong, just cleaned her up. Come on, dude. Like, that shit needs to be replaced. That is a gas guzzling or a energy sucking, energy draining, wasting, inefficient piece of shit. Like, just replace it. Like, at least offer options for the customer. You're not doing them a service by keeping this 40-year-old unit running. I get it. We're technicians. And we love to fix stuff. I get all that. But that is not, it's to me, it's not right. And it's just a mindset thing. So we can all agree to disagree. Hopefully you don't hate me for saying that, but you can agree your way. But I'm telling you, like, soon, one day, here's what's going to happen. You're going to go back to that house to do a clean and check, and it's going to have a brand new unit, and it's not going to be one you installed. And I'll tell you why, because they're going to see some deal. They're going to get a postcard mailer. They're going to hear something on the radio. They're going to see it on Facebook, and somebody they're going to take advantage of it special that somebody's offering, and you just lost out because you wouldn't offer. I promise you that's what will happen.
Or somebody else can have the balls to say something to them. Hey, Mrs. Smith, did you realize that a new system would cost you less than what you pay to run that thing?
Right. And we've had this conversation before, and I know it struck a chord with some people, but man, I don't care how loyal you think your customers are. And this sounds shitty when I say it. I understand that. But hear me out. You may think that they're the most loyal customers in the world. They would never go somewhere else. Well, I promise you, if you can't meet their schedule in a reasonable time because of something else that's happening in your business or your life, they will call somebody else and you possibly will lose them forever. Customers care about being comfortable. They don't necessarily care about you. It's not that you can't have a good relationship with them, but man, trust me, there are thousands and thousands of stories of people who have been, taking care of a specific system, babying it along, putting Band-Aids on it for 10 years. 10 years. And then at the drop of a hat, they'll go with somebody else.
Yeah, no, I agree and disagree. I agree that happens every day. And a lot of times it happens in the summertime. Mm-hmm. So that customer might be willing to wait for you when it's 70 degrees outside. Maybe when it's 50 degrees outside, their heat's not working. I love Gil. I love Kelley. It's fine. I'll get pushed off. But when it's 100 fucking degrees outside, their AC is not working and you can't make it. Guess what? The next guy that comes out, they're going to take that guy. And if that guy comes out and performs a good service, guess what? Your customer's gone. I do agree with that.
And if they're sending the right technician, if they're doing a good job on answering their phones and they're sending the right technician to the right calls, it's going to be game over on an old system that you've been babying along for so many years.
Yeah.
You just lost that sale. And it's devastating because I've had it happen to me multiple times, and it's devastating when it happens. You feel betrayed. You feel and betrayal is one of those emotions or feelings that just fucks with you. It's really hard to shake off when you feel betrayed by somebody, especially when it's somebody really close to you or a customer that you've been taking care of for 10, 12, 15 years. It's hard to shake that off because it really messes with your psyche, in my opinion. It's a tough thing to deal with, but it happens all the time. So, if that system is 15 years old, 20 years old, 25, let's offer them some options, whether they're asking for them or not. I just wanted to show you, here's some savings that you could see. There's different apps and stuff that you can use that will literally calculate what your savings are going to be. And you can just show that to them. I just wanted to show you, over the course of 5 years, here's what our new high efficiency systems would save you. And I'm not trying to push this off on you or anything. I just wanted to bring it to your attention because your system, the average life on a compressor is typically 10 to 12 years. Because I've been here for the last 10 to 12 years. That's why we're 15 years now, is because we've been taking care of it, but it's still past its life expectancy. So it's something we need to consider, or at least plan and prepare for. Well, I at least just planted a seed. Whether they go with it or not today, but hey, they may look at that number and say, holy shit, I had no idea that I could save so much money. Let's talk. How much is one of those? Well, let me put together some numbers real quick for you, and we'll just look at some options and see what's in your budget, and we'll go from there.
It's amazing. Or the other one that gets me is people, they're going to sell you the shiny new system. Okay. Let me ask you all this. I mean, you can answer it, Kelley, but I'm asking the audience do you think that the standards for ductwork were the same in 1970 as they are in 2021?
Yeah, no way.
Exactly.
That's why they're all undersized in my area, most of them.
Yeah, undersized. They weren't really worried about ductwork as far as the requirements of them being sealed, leak test, the kind of ductwork we used, whether they have formaldehyde in them, the different kinds of insulation they used. It was different. So why is it okay for us to sell them a new shiny box on that old ass ductwork and we're okay with it? We don't even fucking bring up that, hey, maybe we should take a look at your ductwork and, maybe we should reseal this or replace it, so it works on this new shiny system. Does it mean everybody's going to do it? No. But isn't that something maybe that we should offer? And I understand in certain parts of the country, out there, the guys in, California, Florida, where it's a lot of duct board or it's all in an attic. It's very easy. Here we have some attic stuff. some of it's in a basement, it's up through the walls. We can't do that for everybody.
No, we got a lot of floor joist, it's finished ceilings. Like you're not getting up in there without, paying thousands and thousands of dollars for a sheetrocker to come back behind you and fix it all and paint it all.
Yeah, but maybe we should tell that, at least have the conversation about the ductwork. If you don't provide duct cleaning, maybe tell them, maybe you should have your ducts cleaned. And if you don't do it yourself, you should either be doing duct cleaning or have a deal worked out with someone else who does it for you. So you can sell it, but you have a contract with that company for them to go do it.
As long as they don't also do heating and air. Well, anytime you're recommending anybody, like if you need an electrician, well, make sure if you're an HVAC company and you need an electrician, do not recommend a company that does electrical and HVAC. Don't ever recommend somebody who does your service. That's just like best business practices. So just want to throw that out there.
That's pretty stupid.
Well, you would never really think about it that way, but it really is like, don't do that. Like use a standalone electrician. If you're recommending somebody, if they provide the same service you do, even if that's not what you're hiring them for, do not use them. It's just, it's not a good idea.
No, I think that's kind of common sense. And
yeah,
if you're recommending anybody, it should be somebody that you have a relationship with. Your owner has a relationship with. You've talked to these people. You're not literally like flipping the phone book and going, all right, well, we're going to call BJ's Electric.
Right.
I mean, so there should be a little bit of common ground or a little bit of background there. We have an electrician, a few electricians that we do. They don't compete with us, but we throw each other work. So, and there's sometimes we'll sell a panel and we know what we can sell it for, that he's cool with making his money. So if I go to bid and they need an upgrade, and I can say, hey, I can give you, an upgrade on a panel, and a heavy up, and it's going to be such and such amount of money. I can put that in my bid and then we'll just pay him. He's cool with that.
Right.
So, but that's a relationship that we have.
Sure.
Contractors, like, hey, we're going to do all this, but that wall's got to be patched. We got to move this. I can incorporate all that into the price if you want. And then you can just have one payment and then we can pay them and they'll do that. But these are companies we have a relationship with. So,
right. I've been in, I've heard by somebody everyone's heard of in our industry. And one of his big things is like affiliates. You got to get affiliates because you're losing out on revenue. Just affiliate with somebody and once a month meet each other and write each other checks, keep track of what leads you've gotten or what you've sold. And I'm really curious if anyone's ever actually made a bunch of money off that. Because I feel like it's more like what Gil's saying. That's more like what it is. Like you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. We're not really, the deal is he gets work out of it and you get to make a little something off of it too. I'm sure you make it whatever, a couple $100 or $500 every time you sell one, which is great. And that's a great deal. That way he gets to fill his schedule and you get to make a little work and offer that service. So that would be like the best type of deal, in my opinion, instead of like trying to meet up every month. And anyhow, just thought I'd say that because that was like drilled into us for a while. And I just didn't, I tried to believe in it. I just couldn't. I struggled with that one.
Yeah, no, I get that. I mean, there's been times that I've, that I've went out and, the people have been like, hey, and this is before I started offering some of those services. They're like, hey, I want to add heating and air conditioning, but I got to get a new panel and get all the electric redone. And, then I would be like, well, if you want, I can recommend an electrician that we work with. So, we're comfortable working with them. So we're on the same page. Like, here's their card, give them a call.
Sure.
And a lot of times if that guy gets the job, I know I got the job.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because we're almost like a package deal because they're going to be, hey, you got to use these guys, like they're the best, stuff like that. So yeah, it's definitely a win-win to have those affiliates, but I agree with what you're saying. It's not meet once a month and cut checks, but I mean,
yeah,
whatever. I guess as long as everybody's making money. But I guess we won't, we're going to keep doing these shorter ones now, so it's not too long. But I hope you guys are getting, what we're saying to you guys about.
One more thing.
Go ahead.
About implementation, because that's kind of what we've talked about. I know we've gotten off on little small tangents here and there, but when it comes to implementing something within your company, if you have coworkers or two things. So the first thing is, if you've got one guy that's just crushing it out there, whether it's a coworker of yours or you're an employee, one of your employees crushing it, like that idea of bringing the parts in and showing them the new parts that you're going to put on when you're presenting your options. I didn't come up with that. Some of the best ideas come from the people that you surround yourself with. So don't be afraid. Like, you got to start talking, like find out what they're doing. If somebody's winning and crushing it, ask them, like, how did you do that? And see if we can't, bring everyone else to start doing the same thing, because that's what it's all about. That way we all win. The second thing is, when you do go to implement something new, which is one of the hardest parts when you have a bunch of employees, because everybody tends to resist change. So the best way to do it, Gil actually said, I've learned this and I even have taught that. But it is to really, you take 1 to 2 of your best guys, usually just one, and you give that process to him. You train it to him or her, let her go out and do it, start getting results from it. And you'll see their average ticket skyrocket or their customer satisfaction skyrocket, like the reviews start pouring in for whatever it is. Then, let them do that for a week or two, and then let them help, for lack of a better way, like, I guess, transfer that enthusiasm to the rest of the team.
Set the expectation. They set the expectation for what the techs want. And then I like to go individually and show that new system or process to technicians one by one, at least the first time. That way it's just us. There's nobody else that makes them feel nervous. There's not one person getting more attention than the other. Everybody gets my undivided attention. Once I've done that with everybody, then we have the team meetings. Then we just keep putting it in. I mean, I'm talking once a week, and guys, even when it's fucking busy, this is important. I don't care if it's fucking an hour. You're like, oh man, there's too many calls. Bullshit. Meet at the fucking office, 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock.
We have daily huddles every morning, and they can be, 5 minutes to 30 minutes. And it just depends on what we're covering.
Yeah. And one of those can be about whatever your system is. Go over it, the role playing stuff. Like, this stuff is huge. If you can do it with your colleague, you might feel awkward. When you get in front of that customer, it's not going to feel awkward. Like, you think this stuff is stupid, but it's fucking proven. The proof is in the pudding. It's fucking proven. It's there. We don't have to make this harder than it is. The thing is everybody wants to try to reinvent the wheel. We don't need to reinvent the wheel. Just roll the motherfucker that's already been given to you. You know what I mean? So
yeah, have a script, because this is the thing too, is like, everyone makes the fries the same, like the same amount of fries go in the fryer, and they go in for a certain amount of time, and then they come out, and then they sit for a certain amount of time, and then they're scooped into the container a certain way. Like, that's a process. And so you want to document each step of this process with your people. Have a written document, not just verbally run through it once. Like, they need something to take with them so they can sit down and read it and review it, and then continue to practice and role play until they just nail it, and watch the results happen. We're what we started to talk about, which is so hard to, like, sometimes we try to implement these things and then they just fall off, and we get busy and we stop doing what we know worked. And we are so guilty. And unfortunately that carried over into winter for me, because last summer we got busy. The process falled off, carried into winter. My mistake for not correcting it sooner. And but I had to have like a huge, like, I guess, I don't know how to put it, but a very emotional meeting earlier this year, and let everybody know that we're going to run this process or you're not going to work here. So if everyone understands the process, there's no more training left to do and it's still not happening. Well, you've got to get to your point, your point to where you're not afraid of what happens. Like, I didn't care if half the team left. I don't want you on my team if you're not going to do what we know works. Yeah. And so that was the point I got to. Gil, I talked to Gil several times about it. This is the first time I've talked about it on the podcast or anywhere else for that matter, really. But that's what it took. So don't be afraid to have that meeting before summer gets here. If you've got the process, you've been training, you know what needs to happen and you've seen it happen and you've seen the results happen when it's done properly, but it's not happening. Well, if you're a manager or operations manager or service manager or installation manager and these processes aren't being followed, well, it's time to have that meeting because it just compounds when we get busy. Like, it will 10x, the problem 10x's, and you wind up after the end of the summer with a lot less money than what you could have walked away with had the process been followed. And that's what we talked about earlier. What Gil said earlier is that it's a crucial part of the survivability and the sustainability and the health of the company to have a good summer.
And keeping your people.
Yes.
How many times do we all think, summertime, tech's got to work fucking, 7 a.m. till fucking midnight, crack the whip. It's summertime. It's time to work. And guess what? People leave. They don't want to do that anymore.
No.
They're sick of not seeing their family. Why do we think people aren't coming to this trade? Because our trade sucks. It's hard. It's hot. Addicts suck. That's why they're not coming in our fucking trade. So what if there was a way that your company could only give you 4 or 5 calls a day? You're making way more money than you ever made. And you love coming to work.
And you still get home by 6:30 or 7 on the busy nights.
Exactly.
Instead of working till 9 or 10 or 11 or 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, because you don't have to. And it's, and those guys that do, hey, have at it, boss. I'm not going to tell a guy I can't. I'll book you some late calls. Go ahead. But you don't have to. That doesn't have to be the way.
But I've seen what happens with that. They run and gun. And at the end of the day, their average ticket's $150.
Yeah.
Like,
those guys
okay, have fun with that. And you're going to burn out and you're going to have callbacks. Like, I remember being in a supply house one morning during a hot summer, or it was an afternoon. The guy was like, yeah, I've ran 9 calls already today. I'm thinking, you haven't done shit. Like, you've been replacing the part. You're not washing the condenser. You're not probably not even checking the filter. You're definitely not blowing the drain line out or looking at like, you're not being thorough. You are running and gunning, and that does nobody any good. And you're not doing the customer a solid by running and gunning. So, and your company will not survive. Guaranteed. You will not survive working that way. Not today. That shit was okay 15 years ago, 20 years ago. That's what I did. I mean, it's not that I wasn't thorough. I treated every single service call like a clean and check. But I wasn't pulling blowers. I wasn't doing that stuff because I had 8 more calls to do. And that used to be okay. And you used to be able to survive like that. But times have changed.
Yeah,
it costs a lot more to run a company now than it did 20 years ago.
Yeah, we evolved as HVAC companies,
And there was way more people in the industry back then.
And there's a reason there's not still fucking dinosaurs roaming the earth, I mean, we evolved. We've learned new things, ways to be better at what we do, be more successful, more thorough, make more money, make customers happier. But some people, and they don't want to see it. And I get it. You know what I mean? That me and Kelley are sitting here and saying for a long time that we weren't like, it doesn't make sense. But after a while, when you start seeing enough, you learn, you stop being ignorant, you educate, and you realize, fuck, this is legit. It works. This is real. This is the way.
And you can feel good about it too when you leave the customer's house. So
yes.
You'll get more reviews. I promise you'll get more reviews.
You're going to have happy customers, happy technicians. It's going to be a happy owner, and your revenue is going to be higher than it's ever been.
It's one of those paradigms that you might not be able to see the possibility until you just try it and do it. And then you will see that things change. Your average ticket goes way up. Your customers are happier, and you get more reviews, and everyone's making more money. And like I've always said, we're not selling trinkets and widgets and gadgets. We're selling solutions that improve the customer's health, safety, efficiency of their equipment.
Yeah.
Which is a great thing. I mean, it's nice that we're not just selling fidget spinners. Yeah, I have one on my desk too. One of the supply houses gave it to me. I always thought, God, those fidget spinners are fucking stupid. And then I got one, and dude, I play with it all the time.
It is fun.
So yeah, we need to close it out.
Yep. Let's start closing out, my man.
Well, hopefully you learned something on this. Hopefully you can take something that we've shared and implement it and see what happens, man. See if your average ticket goes up, if your customers are happier, all that stuff. We really appreciate your support and listening. And we need you to go back in and join. There is a new Facebook group, same name, but since they shut the other Facebook group down, we need everyone to get back into the new Facebook group. So be sure to head over there and do that. And love you guys. I'm wishing you a prosperous. I know sometimes I feel like it's just because I've made so many mistakes, and I could be so much further in my career and my business if I would have just learned some of this stuff earlier. So I don't mean to sound like I'm bitching you guys out when I'm kind of assertive sometimes with the way I say things. I'm not trying to bitch you out. I'm just trying to make you listen, because I'm telling you, this shit will change your business. It will change your life, and it doesn't happen overnight. So when you get the information, now you got to figure out, how am I going to implement this into my company, and how am I going to make this work? So it takes time, and I'm still in that process. We're pretty successful, but the sky is the limit. I can just see what we can be and what we can become. And we're getting there. It's slowly working. I'm seeing improvement. So it's exciting. And it's something that will, keep you out of the truck. If that's ever a goal of yours, to get out of the truck. So you got to learn these things. You got to believe in them. That's the biggest thing. If you don't believe in it, you'll never even offer it. And, but having some data to back those claims, what a dirty blower does to the airflow in the house, what a dirty coil does, having some of that data, it'll make you a believer, because it's true. The system is extremely inefficient with dirty components. And it's the number one cause for pretty much all failures is dust and dirt. So guys, I just wanted to say, be sure, get that information and take it and implement it and learn it. It will help you tremendously. And don't do what I've done and take way too long to get this stuff done. So anyhow, love you guys. Go make money.
Yeah, man. I agree with Kelley. Sometimes we come off and we sound so matter of fact. We don't mean to be assholes, but we're being uncensored. We're trying to be real and be honest with you guys and tell you the truth and cut the bullshit. We don't want you guys to make the same mistakes that we've made. That's the whole point of this. Why me and Kelley always say that we'll always talk more about our failures than we'll ever talk about our successes, because we want you to learn from them so that you don't make them. If all of you end up being more successful than us, then hey, that's fine.
That's great.
Yeah.
I'm cheering for you.
Yeah, that's okay. So, and this was not about advocating any one person system. Obviously, I just went to Victor Rancour's at Service Hero, but we're not advocating any particular one. We're just saying that a lot of these guys that we talked about earlier, they have proven systems that do work. If you and your company want to go to one, message us, email us, hvacuncensored@gmail.com. We'll be more than happy to give you some recommendations, be honest about ones that we've taken, we went to, what we thought about it, all that kind of stuff. That's fine. We'd be willing to do that for you. I highly recommend that you do one and you actually start changing it and you start taking yourself into the 21st century of HVAC and doing things and get out of that old school mindset, because you're going to get left behind. I promise you, you're going to get left behind if you haven't already. So yeah. As always, obviously with some of the traveling, we apologize about some of the flip-flopping on episodes. You know, me and Kelley are doing our best to try to get things back up and now. I'm getting ready to be in the process. I'm actually going to be moving here in the next couple of weeks, but we're going to have as many out as possible. We'll get back in our groove here. Like Kelley said, don't forget to go to the new HVAC Uncensored Nation group. Still not sure what's going to happen with the old one. It's not looking too good, and trying to get an answer back from Facebook. You got to, better chance of growing a penis as a woman or growing a vagina as a man. So it's just, they don't care about the little guy. So it is what it is. We'll see. I hope that, they get back and decide to do something. But as for right now, we want to try to rebuild that group anyway. And we'll go from there. All right. Make sure you're downloading this podcast every week. Once I move, I think I might start doing some live streams again. Because those are fun. I like doing those. I got a big mouth. You guys know that. So don't know if they're going to be scheduled. I don't know if I'm going to put that on myself right away. It might just be those ones like I used to be back in the day where it's just sporadic. I just happen to pop up and say, hey, and see who pops in. So we'll see. But yes, love you guys. Hope you guys are all being successful. I hope you guys that are out there getting ready for summer, ready to kick this summer right in the balls and make some money for you, your company, and really get it going, So anyway, let me close this thing out, man. It's getting to be enough. I'm fucking tired. Guys, remember, always be safe out there. Always make it home the same way you left. Guys, I say this every week and I mean it. Set yourself apart. Do what the next guy's not doing. Do those little things to set yourself apart. All right. Which is what we're talking about in this podcast. Hint, hint, hint. But yeah, man. But anyway, we love you guys. We appreciate each and every one of you for all the support that you give us. We want to thank our sponsors who always make this show possible. And yeah, until next time, man, we love you, mofos. We'll talk to you next time. Peace.
Peace.
Thanks for listening to the HVAC Uncensored podcast. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Instagram, or email us anytime at hvacuncensored@gmail.com. Now, get back to work. Shut this down. The views and opinions shared on the HVAC Uncensored podcast may not necessarily be the views and opinions of our sponsors or guests.